don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Sweet daddy, you got it, King. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. Let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. Let me know. I'm about to break this thing up. If you want some, come get some.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to FTW Future Focus. I am not so humble correspondent Robert Black, and right now the mastermind Bobby Rogers is on location, and he will be popping in and out periodically for interviews and such. But we do have the whole crew here, and introducing everyone in clockwise order. To my right, as you see him, the master of wine, women, and song, the president of Motown Wrestling Group on Facebook, and a good goddamn handsome man. He is Tony Motown Allen. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I just want to give a couple of birthday shout outs real quick, because tomorrow is my baby sister's birthday, my dad's daughter. And it's also my mom's birthday as well.
Oh, the number one fan. Happy birthday.
They share a birthday, which is kind of funny.
Sweet. Now, speaking of goddamn handsome men, down at the bottom, we have the man from Indianapolis, Indiana, the man with 40 years of being a wrestling connoisseur, and a guy who likes to play the camera like nobody's business. He is the Gadget Man, Chris Woods. The Gadget Brother. How you doing, sir?
Once again, I had to follow some fantastic introduction. You can tell there's levels to this. Don't we always say that, Tony? When do I get to reach that superstar level that you and Bobby are on, so I can get an introduction like that?
It's gonna take a minute. Don't hate.
I gave you some good points.
Know your role.
I know what happened. Y'all giving him. Y'all paying Rob. Y'all paying Rob under the table.
Don't even worry about it.
Marcus, let's see what he says about you, Marcus. Maybe I stand corrected.
And also, we stand in the presence of the man from Chicago, Illinois, the very silent but very deadly, the Tony Khan, He-Man hater, and professional wrestler expert extraordinaire. He is Marvelous Marcus Buckley. Welcome to the show, sir.
What's going on, everybody?
It's all right.
Hey, Marcus.
And of course, to my left, we have the founder of our feast, the president of FTW Network, former professional wrestler, current promoter of professional wrestling, and a master showman. He is the mastermind, Bobby Rogers. Welcome, sir. We know you're at a undisclosed location right now, and that you'll be popping out in and out periodically, but welcome to FTW Future Focus.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, I am at work. I am getting money on, and I am doing a few different things. First off, let me just say this. I want to thank everybody for the continuous viewership of the FTW network. We've done nothing but gone up, and up. Our stats on the website is astounding, and I can't believe the support that you guys have been giving us, and I want to say thank you for everyone tuning in. Please tell more people to come on through, because the more people that come through, the more things I can do. Lost the opportunity to do something for Fastlane because of viewership, but next time it comes around, if we got more people, then we'll be able to do something for you guys. So get everybody on there, subscribe, like, do the chinchilla, let us all get it together. You guys have fun. I'll be back on later. And we'll go ahead and get some things done. But hey, I would just want to say thank you to everybody that's been viewing. So, and thank you guys for being on the set doing the darn thing. I don't say it enough, but we got a group here that's pretty cool. Even though Marcus try to clown on, even though Marcus try to clown on me every once in a while, I'll get him later. But
no, don't mess with Marcus. Marcus is unbeatable.
Oh, okay. You keep thinking that Jordan even had a bad day.
Keep losing to him, Bobby. I think you're 0-2 against him, so keep losing to him.
Call him
No, I'm
marvelous for a
0-1.
reason.
I'm actually 0-1, and you're the one that's 0-2. So get that right. but
I'm 2-1.
I want to say this. Thank you, everyone, for being on this, doing this, because I ain't had a group of guys that's together that's about doing the same thing in the wrestling business as a while, as we were discussing before we went on air. So, thank you. I appreciate you. Now I'm about to go make me some money and slave.
Don't do that.
Yes. Oh, by the way, say hi to everybody.
Hey.
That's my coworker.
Hello.
She's over there doing the thing. So,
Cute too. Damn.
oh, shut up.
God.
Anyway, let me go do my thing. I'll be back at about 5. I'll be back at 5 o'clock. So, talk to you in a minute.
Yeah. Whoa, Tony.
Oh, it was in his ear. He couldn't hear me.
I'll be having to hold myself back, but you know what? You got to sometimes.
Yeah. Well, as
She
Bobby
was cute
said,
though, wasn't she?
Man. Do the YouTube thing and the network thing, and we keep expanding our audience. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. And that one doesn't count. So let's move on to our first subject today and let the therapy begin. Our first subject today has to do with AEW, much to everyone's chagrin but mine. Right now, there is kind of an unofficial brand split between Dynamite and Collision. They're kind of doing their different thing. And the question for the panel is, who is showcasing their talent better on their show, Dynamite or Collision? And since the Gadget Man wanted
I'll go first.
Introduction, I'll let you take this one first, sir.
All right. Well, I think this is an easy one. FTR couldn't get on TV on Dynamite. They've been on every week on Collision. So, I mean, right there alone, they're showcasing some of their best talent. And then when you get into like that match, Jay White and Juice Robinson versus FTR, we're talking about some of those matches are rivaling those Briscoe FTR matches. You know what I mean? They've made Luchasaurus relevant on this show. We all know how big of a superstar CM Punk is, and I think you're an even bigger star when you get heel treatment and babyface treatment like John Cena and Roman Reigns did in WWE. So CM Punk's basically appealing to everybody. He's got fans that hate him, and he's got fans that love him. So you either want to see him lose or you want to see him win. And he's not afraid to put over the younger talent like a Ricky Starks. You know what I mean? So I really think they're putting over the talent. They're giving us the wrestlers we want. Dynamite is really like NXT and half a Raw put together. They're literally letting their green wrestlers, instead of wrestling on a show to develop their talent like they do on Dark, they're letting them develop actually on national TV, which is what I don't understand, and which is why I think we get a lot of bad matches. And then they just shove like Orange Cassidy down our throat. We're seeing a lot of the same wrestlers doing the same gimmicks to the same matches. I mean, how many times do we have to watch the Elite fight the Combat Club? I mean, it's just like we're not seeing any originality with Dynamite, as Collision's a new show. I really think Collision is an answer also to their ROH, because they're using a lot of the ROH wrestlers that we were missing on TV also. So I would say Collision is showcasing the talent a lot better. And Dynamite could really learn from this, because there's no reason to use your show to grow talent. Unless the talent is there, I wouldn't be putting guys that aren't ready for TV on TV. That's just me.
Marcus.
Once again, I at first I thought it was Tony stealing my shit, but I think now Chris has took his place, because I was going to say Collision, because if for no other reason, we're seeing Ring of Honor talent like Joe even though I'm not a Diva fan, but
hold on. Is there anybody else here in the echo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
Somebody needs to turn the speaker down.
It's me. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're showing. I think I'm still hearing it. But okay. The simple answer is Collision so far is showcasing their talent better, because with Dynamite, I mean, we've gone weeks without seeing people. FTR, we didn't see Wardlow for weeks. We barely see him Miro. So they're doing a terrible job of showcasing their talent, unless you're Orange Cassidy or Best Friends fan. Then yeah, I guess you would say Dynamite. But for me, seeing guys like FTR, Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, Joe, people like that actually got talent, so far, I give that to Collision so far.
I was muted. Okay. Tony, what do you feel about this?
I mean, I'm on the same way as the guys on the bottom. I mean, for me, it's just FTR alone, just FTR. Like, FTR not only has been on every show for the last few weeks, but they have been a huge impact. I mean, they arguably had like the match of the year, like 2 shows ago. Yeah. I mean, it's going to take a lot to beat that tag team match. I mean, that I was in Chicago watching that with my mom, and my mom was into that match from beginning to the very end. Like, it was just that good of a match. So yeah, for me it is Collision, but I'm kind of like Marcus. Like, the answer right now is Collision. I'm still kind of like wait and see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, as much as we dog out Dynamite, Dynamite, like 1 or 2 months in, we thought it was like one of the best wrestling shows on TV. So I want to see them doing consistently.
Yeah.
All right, let me pop in on this very quick.
All right, go ahead.
Everybody, this is one of the subjects I want to get on big time. Everybody's talking about, they got the 1 or 2 matches, but it's not only the matches; it's the atmosphere. It's also the actual commentary.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
The whole shebang seems like it's more professional, more organized.
Yeah.
It makes more sense. You're getting the gist of what's going on quicker. You don't have to look up in the wrestling encyclopedia from 45, years ago in 30 different countries to figure out what the heck is going on. You are seeing it. It's up front. The people that should go over are going over. The people that are deserving to go over are going over. The matchups that deserve to happen are happening. And it's no politics. There's no goofy stuff. It's no, you must kiss the ring of the guy, except for MJF. Of course, you got to kiss his ring. But other than that, I mean, Collision to me is by far a vast improvement. And this is what all of the BS was about, because the Young Bucks did not want to be shown up. So let me get it back to work. Sorry.
And can I make a little brief comment before you go, Rob? Sure. And it seems like it's the WWF cast-offs that we all thought were going to be big stars, like Aleister Black, FTR. WWE didn't want them. And when you watch them on a show like this looks like sports entertainment to me. Like that 2 out of 3s match with FTR and Juice Robinson, that's what sports entertainment's supposed to look like when I watch a wrestling show.
Okay. First of all, we're going to have a consensus here, because I do believe that Collision is the most well-organized show that AEW has. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah. For whatever the reason is, whether it be the Bucks politics, or whether it be the overall talent that they're showcasing is up for debate as far as who goes where and why. I do kind of disagree with the idea that this is sports entertainment, though, because
I do too.
I mean, there's a difference between professional wrestling being a little bit more entertaining and sports entertainment trying to imitate pro wrestling, because now I think that Yeah, right now I think that's what Dynamite is trying to do, quite frankly. For the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think they have been trying to respond to Collision by going in the opposite direction. And they've been booking a lot of silly crap as a way of protesting what Collision is doing. Do you see what I mean?
And well, the sports part, I was saying, because they're doing like tournament style matches. They're doing best 2 out of 3. That's what I was kind of like alluding to. You know what I mean?
A Collision is more controlled. They've had better quality so far, and the storylines are more cohesive. Now, I've been an AEW apologist on here before, and I'm gonna say right now that to my mind, Dynamite does not completely suck. There are parts of it that are still good, to my mind, and I think the matches themselves are pretty solid with some notable exceptions that we might get to later. But I think we can all agree here that Collision is the AEW that we want. That's the product that we want out of AEW. I think we can all agree on that.
I know for me though, and the reason I'll lean more with Rob as not the sports entertainment, because Vince's sports entertainment was not that match.
Right.
That is not Vince McMahon's definition of sports entertainment. We would never see that in WWE.
At a WrestleMania, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. That was a WrestleMania quality match, but it was on free TV.
But Vince's sports entertainment is all the goof. Vince's sports entertainment was Adam Cole and MJF dancing in the ring with their opponents.
Oh, remember AEW said they were going to do the sports, like they were going to keep track, like records of your win-loss records and this and that. Like I'm leaning. The wording might needs to be changed. I wasn't saying sports entertainment thinking WWE. I was just thinking like competitively. They're being competitive on Collision. You know what I mean? Like they're actually competing, and I'm believing the matches more.
You mean like more
what you say? It's just like sometimes
I use the wrong word. I agree with all you guys. I use the wrong wording.
No, just like more like sports base, maybe.
Right. Yeah. I used the wrong wording.
Yeah.
I got into a debate just yesterday with somebody on Facebook about this. They were arguing that you can't differentiate between pro wrestling and sports entertainment. I'm sorry.
Yes, you can.
Oh my God.
That's NWA versus WWE. That's how you differentiate. That's easy.
Exactly.
For real.
It's like the analogy I made.
Okay.
It's
was this with a wrestling fan that you had this debate with?
Kinda, sorta, yeah. I think it's somebody that only watches WWE, and they were trying to justify the crap on top of the cracker.
Okay,
Doink the Clown versus Arn Anderson. That's how you That's how you tell the difference.
Yeah, it's pretty damn obvious.
I like Doink the Clown now.
I did too. I love Matt Bourne. Who did?
Only Matt Bourne.
Okay, sports entertainment has its moments when it's done right. When it's done wrong, it's an abomination and an insult to God.
Yeah,
but we do need to
it's funny you say that, because remember when he booked God to be HBK's tag team partner?
You're gonna give me PTSD, Tony. No, for the love of no. No. Anyway, moving on to our next subject, if you want to take it, Tony.
All right. I hope everybody know what was said though, but our next question for the panel is TNT's evaluation of the success of Collision fair? The place of the night and the place of the night versus the ratings. So basically TNT is pretty happy with it despite the lower ratings. They've been happy with it as far as like where they rank for their versus other Saturday shows. So do you guys think that it's fair that you kind of go by them?
Tony, you want me to explain that a little bit while I get a chance?
Actually, I'd like you to, because I'm a little fuzzy on it.
Okay, the way TNT is doing things right now with Collision is basically they're going by what place they are ranking when it comes to how many people kind of like watch during that Saturday. So they don't necessarily have to hit 1 million or 2 million people.
Right.
They just have to rank higher than everybody else on that day.
Right.
Dynamite is being ranked on how many people actually watch. So their demographic in the 14 or what is it, the 18 to 49.
18 to 49.
Whatever. 18 to 49 is more important than the overall viewers, because if they got 80% of the 18 to 49, they'd be fine, even though they only had like 300,000 viewers.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So the question that was proposed was, which do you think it's fair that Collision gets to be judged on a different base than Dynamite when it comes to ratings and things of that nature?
I'll kick it off.
Somebody.
I'll
Go
kick it
ahead,
off.
Tony.
Honestly, I'm not a fan of it, and here's the reason why. It's like we have a new show and new rules. And if we're going to try to like, okay, this show's doing better than this show, or this is a better product than this product because of this or that, I mean, it's like with Dynamite, it's like it's about the numbers, and on Collision, it's about the placement for that day. I mean, I think it should be apples and apples. Like if you're gonna base it off placement of the shows, it should be the same way for Dynamite. Because it just kind of leaves too much like, okay, yeah, like this show's doing better on ratings, but this show's ranked here. Where was Dynamite ranked as far as Wednesday shows? Like, especially considering I just always been, for years, it's always been about the numbers. So that's why I'm like, okay, like for this, it doesn't like it's about the placement of the show. I'm just not sure how I feel about that. I'm not really a big fan of it when you're kind of like changing the rules for a show. I mean, they're not doing that for NXT. Like NXT for a long time was the best show in WWE, but they were getting their butts kicked in the ratings. But it wasn't like well, they ranked here on Tuesdays. It's never been like that. So I don't know. I just think TNA is just trying to use that to like, hey, this is going really well when it might not be drawing what they want, but I always thought like when it comes to TV shows, sponsorships, especially when you're trying to like make money on your product and get people to sponsor you, and it's usually based off your numbers. I don't get their logic behind that. I understand that it's a successful Saturday show, but if you know Saturday's a bad day for it, I don't want you saying like, okay, yeah, despite the numbers, they ranked here on Saturdays. Put them on a better night. Put them on Thursdays. Move them there. If you know like Saturday's a shit day, move them to a different day.
All right, can I take this next one real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm doing this when I see I can go ahead and talk. Basically, I think it is fair, and the reason I think it is fair is because of the Saturday thing, to where not a lot of people actually watch TV. They're out and about, either going to a club, museum, hanging with their families, and what have you. So you're not going to have that big pool of people to draw those type of numbers to fairly evaluate. My thing is showing where it ranks does show the popularity because of those people, which is going to be a different number all the time. Because you got to understand, Monday through Friday is going to be a consistent number. You know, either people are at work or they're not during that time. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have more of a consistent number during that. Saturdays are so jumbled up, so you can't have a consistent number to fairly evaluate it. So my thing is, I like that idea because that shows, hey, they are the most popular amongst the people that are here during that time. You know what I'm saying? And that way it gives it a more fair evaluation of the overall product.
Yeah. Okay. But why not do that ranking for Wednesday? Like where they rank on Wednesdays versus the numbers? Like
they do.
Okay, can I answer that? Can I answer that?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. They don't go by ranking as much as personal viewers, because you have a consistent number of people that are at home at that time to watch. So you can go by numbers. You see what I'm saying? Saturday, there's not a set number of people, because one Saturday, 300,000 people might go out. The next Saturday, 700,000 people might go out and do something. The next Saturday, 400,000 people might go out. It jumps up and down. It's like a a kangaroo in a hot cold patch. You know, it just keeps jumping up and down, and you don't know where it's going. So, yeah, go
ahead. Chris, go next, please.
Yeah. I agree with Bobby. And when I did my research, I kind of knew AEW's Dynamite situation, how they start out. You know, they used to start out at 1 million or close to 1 million, and they lose viewership. The reason why Collision's their debut was their highest, amount of viewership, but they don't lose the percentage of viewers that Dynamite loses over a 2-hour period. That means a lot too. They actually gain. Like one of the show with CM Punk and Ricky Starks, I think they started out at 560,000, and they went up to like 630,000. So those numbers mean a lot. And then the reason why it is fair, Tony, it's just like when sitcoms used to come out. They wanted Thursday night. Seinfeld was on Thursday. The Cosby Show you wanted that prime time, 8 o'clock on Thursday. Saturday is not a prime time spot. People if I watch wrestling on Saturday, I want it to mean something. I want it to be epic. Hence is why they started doing the pay-per-views on Saturday. College football's getting ready to start. Their ratings are going to go down even further once college football starts on Saturday. What they really need to do is get rid of Rampage and just move the show to Friday. It's the same thing with the Monday Night Wars. You're not even really competing with WWE. AEW has their own fans. I would move the show to Friday, take it off Saturday. Like Bobby said, people have more stuff to do on Saturday. It's like I said, when college football starts, I guarantee the numbers might drop another 25-30%. It's just like when Monday Night Football starts, Raw loses about 15% to 20% every year when Monday Night Football starts. But we all know Saturday is not a prime spot unless something special is happening, like a pay-per-view that makes us want to tune into wrestling. We want to go out with our women. We want to do it's our free day of the weekend. You know what I mean? So you don't need Rampage. We don't talk about Rampage on this show.
I don't even watch Rampage no more.
You put Collision on Friday, and that might solve some of the problems. And like I said, AEW has their fans. SmackDown has its fans, so I wouldn't even worry about that and take over that demo on Friday. To me, that would be the number one solution.
Honestly, that solution, I know myself when they first talked about it, and I want to say Marcus said the same thing too. It was like Saturday was a bad idea before they even launched it. That was just a bad choice from the beginning.
Marcus, you go ahead and I'll go last if that's all right.
Okay, yes, fine. I agree with everything you guys have been saying. You know, when they first, like Tony said, I thought it was a bad idea way back when I first heard about it. But I thought they were going to be using the same ratings to judge it like they do Dynamite and things like that. But again, I'm sure they got guys, Warner Brothers, I'm sure knew that going into putting it on Saturday night. So they knew they weren't going to get a high number like a 3 point whatever, 4 point whatever, or whatever. They probably already anticipated that. So they figure, you know what, we're going to get we want hopefully to get the key demographic of what the sponsors want. And so based on that, we're happy. So I would say, yes, it's fair because they already knew going into it that they're not going to get a high rating with college basketball, with college football, with concerts and movie things and that pay-per-views and stuff like that.
All of you guys have made some excellent points, and you're all correct, including Tony. But since my degree from Indiana State University is in radio, TV, film, I thought I would add another dimension here. Let's keep in mind that the Nielsen ratings are old. The Nielsen rating system has been around for several decades, since the golden age of television, in fact. And cable TV is as old as we are. So both of those things are dying mediums. So TNT may not be putting as much stock into what Nielsen is saying about Collision or Dynamite, because they understand that there's more viewership out there that's reaching the show in other ways, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, through the website for AEW. There may be millions of people within their demographic that they're advertising to in different ways, rather than people watching the show live on cable. I mean, honestly, how many of us actually watch shows when they come on anymore? We DVR everything now.
Pretty much.
So we're those numbers that come in live are only reflecting a fraction of who's actually watching the show. There could be as many as 5 or 6 million people that are still watching Monday Night Raw that we don't know about, but it's only reflected in the individual streaming services. Same thing with Collision. Even though it is on Saturday, people will watch it on Sunday, and that's recorded somewhere. So as far as being fair, I think that we should judge all of these shows, WWE's included, by the amount of clicks and hits that we don't see that are coming in through all these streaming services and websites and everywhere else, before we concentrate on the Nielsen numbers, because this is not 1950s anymore.
Yeah, and like I said, when I did my research, they're only really concentrating, like Bobby, on the 18 to 49. And Collision's second on Saturdays behind UFC, and Dynamite has reached number one before. They're usually third or fourth on Wednesday. And also, I was thinking too, what you were saying, when you see a bump or a drop when viewership, that's the casual fan that peeped in to see what was going on, and then turned it off and said, okay, this is trash, or I like the Bloodline. SmackDown knows we're going to put them at the end. They start off with 2.5, 3 million, but when the Bloodline comes on, that number goes through the roof.
Okay, but
people know when they're coming on. They know what they're doing.
But here's my thing, though, and I'm gonna use your example, Chris. And this is why I say it's not really fair. We're looking at Dynamite's numbers, and we're looking at Collision's rating. Why can't we do the rankings for both? Because that stat was more important to me. That, like, they're ranking higher in that demographic on a Saturday than Dynamite is on a Wednesday. So throw out the fucking numbers. We don't care about the numbers. Where you rank that on Wednesdays?
Well,
like if they're right, they do. That's why Dynamite's still on TV, Tony. That's why they signed another contract. Because of the 18 to 49 demographic. I did my research. They're doing both shows like that, though. That is literally what they're targeting. 18 to 49. Where do we rate every Wednesday and every Saturday?
But when we talk about ranking versus numbers, that's my whole thing, was like both shows should be based the same way. If you're going to look at the rankings on Saturday, look at the rankings on Wednesday.
Right. Well, they'll never match the same numbers as in viewership. Exactly. That'll never match.
So that's why, like, if we comparing ranking for both shows, I think that'll give you
Tony, you're right in this sense that we should have a standard for all of these shows, both AEWs and WWEs. We should all be looking at the same numbers, but not all of those numbers are known to us. A lot of them are hidden behind these streaming services and websites, and we never know for sure exactly how many people are watching. That's why a lot of people point to the Nielsen ratings and the 18 to 49 demographic and look at that as an example of what's succeeding or what's failing. But like I said, that's an old method and we don't really know for sure. And until we do, it's going to be hard to figure out why a show is failing or succeeding.
Right.
I know
but
the
you're
numbers.
Right. There needs to be a standard. There needs to be one standard for all shows.
I know the numbers I was looking at, and I'm going to defend TNT. NXT was bringing some good numbers. You know how I know that? The amount of money Mandy Rose was making when she was on NXT from all her like that. Mandy Rose had more viewers than the fucking show did.
But you know what?
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Can we all agree NXT was a real wrestling show at one time? Like we all watched it. I watched. I didn't have to DVR that. I watched it from start. I didn't fast forward. I start to finish.
I hated the rating system back then though, because their ratings were like a third of Raw and SmackDown, and it was a much better
should have been. And it should have been. It was really their third show. They just had more talent. They didn't have the name. They didn't have the brands. They didn't have a Rock, a Cena. That's why.
That's where that phenomenon begins, though. There were a lot of underground people who were watching NXT in the first incarnation and were like,
that's because we all watched ROH, Rob. Those are all ex-ROH wrestlers.
Speaking of ROH, that'll come up later if we do tap out and moment and that kind of thing. But moving on. Here is a question that I'm sure that Mastermind is very interested in, and I am too. Who needs who more? Does Collision need the participation of the Elite, or does Dynamite need more FTR and CM Punk? And we'll let Marcus take this one first, because I'm very curious about how he feels about this one.
I think without question, Dynamite needs Punk and FTR more, because we've already seen that when Punk was on Dynamite, they were averaging between 900,000 and about 1,100,000. And we've seen now since he's been gone, they're barely getting 800,000. So there's no, and if the Elite go to Collision, that they definitely will not gain viewers. They'll be lucky to maintain what they've got. So to me, this is a very easy question. Dynamite definitely needs Punk, especially since this is supposed to be their flagship show.
Yes.
Well, on top of that, so they definitely, and Punk is definitely their biggest star. So they definitely, Dynamite without question needs Punk.
Bobby, can you join us for this one? No, it sounds like he's with a customer. Chris, take this one.
I agree with Marcus. It is their flagship show. We just talked about ratings, and the biggest, the ratings god is not Chris Jericho. It's CM Punk. That's a fact. And then what we've seen is, like I tried to tell you when I did my research, Dynamite loses about 25 to 30% of their viewership after the show starts. Collision kind of rides a little wave, but it stays and it goes up actually on the CM Punk segments, the FTR segments, because people are watching a good product basically. So how come Tony Khan couldn't find anywhere to put FTR on TV and had to create a show to put them on TV? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. If you're really listening to your fans, which is who pushes the rating, who views the product, you put who we want to see on TV. And we, as hardcore fans, want to just see really good wrestling matches. We don't want to see, if you give us 5 good wrestling matches, you can mix in some goofy stuff. If you give me 5 goofy things and 1 good wrestling match, that's why I say Dynamite's a bad show. And that's what they usually give us. 5 or 6 goofy things, and but we'll give you some MJF. Well, you done hit MJF in a shitty show. At least Collision is like, let's give you a few things you love. We might F up a 1 or 2 things, but we're going to hide it with good wrestling. We're going to give you good tag team. We're going to give you a tournament match. We're going to give you some CM Punk. We might give you a little Jericho, but just a little. You know what I'm saying? I just, Dynamite needs that, especially with what we see going on SmackDown. When we say there's levels to this, then you need to bring your heavy guns out. And right now, FTR and CM Punk are the heaviest guns that they got in their holster. And they're on Saturday withering away.
I think Bobby is champing at the bit a little bit, so let's let him take this one again.
Yeah, yeah, I did have a customer at the time you said that. That was funny. The thing about it is, and it's without a doubt, Dynamite needs CM Punk and FTR. I'm glad this happened because it showed that I mean, don't get me wrong, and I will put a disclaimer: I'm not a fan of the Young Bucks at all. I did become a fan of Kenny Omega. I will give him his props on that, but he's still nowhere near. He's still nowhere near CM Punk level. He's not that level yet. If he does what he does in Japan, he would be, and that's what's frustrating. If he brought that same passion he does out when he's speaking Japanese to the Japanese fans, if he brought it out to the American audience, I think he would be over, but he's not. He's not doing that, and he's not over. He's doing good matches, but he's not over. They definitely need that because, just like everyone said, their ratings have not been the same since they left and did their own thing. You know, you got your group of people that only want to see the Bucks and Omega and cheer like some little cheerleaders on marshmallow pads. But I mean, honestly, when you start talking about real wrestling people, they don't want to see that crowd. They want to see what they're doing on Saturday. But they also are so disgruntled with wrestling, they're not going to stay home on Saturdays and watch wrestling. They're going to DVR it. They're going to do something like that. They're going to go on the internet and watch it. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Dynamite desperately, I'm even going to go farther and say they desperately needs CM Punk and FTR, and they actually, in my opinion, need to fire the Young Bucks so everybody can be cohesive.
Tony, it's up to you.
The craziest thing about this question is, because I mean, the answer is obvious that Dynamite needs, in particular, FTR. But because in my opinion, I mean, and CM Punk is a great draw, but for me, for the last several weeks, FTR has been the biggest draw on the show. Like FTR is killing it, straight killing it. And it's frustrating because it's like, does Dynamite need them? Absolutely. Does Dynamite have them? I mean, to this day, Dynamite still has access to them, though. Like,
they're the tag champs.
Yeah. FTR is not exclusive to Collision. They're the champs. It just blows my mind the stubbornness that they have with FTR on Dynamite. And it's not like we just saw this, though, because when we barely saw FTR last year on TV, we saw them a lot on RH. We saw them tearing the house down. Like, that match that they had a couple shows ago was probably going to be match of the year or a top candidate for it. They've been doing that everywhere but Dynamite.
Yep.
It don't make no sense. Don't get it.
I think the Elite. I don't think the Elite will hurt the Collision ratings. I think AEW fans, I mean, they're gonna watch regardless. The ones who's watching on Saturday is gonna watch whether the Elite's on there or not. The Elite do have their little following though, but needle movers though, FTR need to be showcased on their flagship show like that, not their Saturday show.
Well, my take on this is that Dynamite definitely needs Punk and FTR much more than Collision needs the Elite. I think that the politics that have been going on for the last 10, 11 months has been absolutely ridiculous. The nepotism needs to stop, and thank God that there were some adults in the room who figured out a way to put CM Punk back on our TV screens without having to cut his contract, cause a major lawsuit, and drive him back out of the business again. I'm glad that happened. And the fact that FTR had to suffer for it is absolutely idiotic. Somebody needs to get into the ears of the elite and say to them, you will make more money in the long run if you grow the hell up. Let these guys back on Dynamite, because we know damn good and well that that's why they're not there. And the whole company will benefit, especially if you heal the locker room. Because a lot of the things that are happening on Dynamite right now are happening because of the different philosophical stuff that's going on between Dynamite and Collision. It's a much more cohesive show when the people who are not there because they're friends of friends are in charge. It, like Punk said at the scrum, it's all about business. This is a effing business. And if the Bucks would treat it as such, because I'm sure Omega is grown up enough to get in to make that decision, but apparently the Cucamonga boys are not. So somebody needs to get in their ear and tell these EVPs to stop the politics before you permanently separate the roster, because we don't need that. But yes, in the end, a CM Punk needs to be on Dynamite and on Rampage and on Collision, and they need to showcase everybody they can.
Hey, Rob, go ahead, Tony. I'll make a point after you, Tony.
As we're talking about the elite, though, and this is not being a Young Buck hater, it's just from what I've seen since all this stuff happened. Do anybody else feel like the Young Bucks have fallen to be the most irrelevant factors of the elite that we have right now?
Yes.
Even more irrelevant than Hangman Adam Page.
I mean, look, I'm so tired of looking at Don Callis. I'm like, get him off TV too. Get rid of him. But and you know what I do like? I do like that the hidden door, like bringing over Osprey and White and Juice Robinson. These guys should have came over with Kenny Omega. These guys, they've all wrestled each other. You can see the kind of talent that's over in Japan. I mean, they can only enhance their roster by having this partnership with New Japan Wrestling. And I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, because I grew up watching, once I could see it on TV in like 2010 and above on the Access channel. I've been following it since AJ Styles was over there, fighting. I'm really digging the talent and the push, but they don't have to keep bringing the 50-year-old Japanese wrestlers over here to wrestle. You know what I mean? All they do is chop and headbutt people. Keep bringing the younger talent. If you're going to bring these guys over and enhance it, and have them fight a Kenny Omega, have them fight a Jericho, because these guys have already been over there internationally. Let their international personality show. You know how Jericho goes into his evil personality. Kenny Omega's what? The sweeper. Bring those characters that I fell in love with over in Japan.
Oh,
those are the characters we would love here in America. I guarantee they would.
Has anybody here watched Death Before Dishonor that was on Friday night?
Oh, I didn't see it.
I forgot about it.
Oh my God. You're talking like wrestling caviar.
Okay, I gotta check that out.
It was
I gotta check that out.
There are 3 matches at least on that card that will make you guys go nuts. We're talking about the Castagnoli pack match. That was great. The Athena Willow Nightingale match was awesome. Bobby will lose his mind over that match.
Athena match was great.
Right?
What's that?
Athena was great.
Athena match was great.
Yes. My God, yes. And
she used to be good, though. I mean, while we were joking, when she was in NXT, I thought she was the next superstar.
Athena was not great.
She's always
Ember
been
Moon
sloppy.
was.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
She was great in this match, and at least half of it was Willow. Willow is an amazing.
She's the next one. She's the next one.
Yeah,
Wait,
she should
and
be
I gotta
Tony
be honest
Storm.
with you. I have not praised her until last Collision. The women match that she was in on Collision last week after the tag match was phenomenal.
Didn't
well, that's a strong word, Tony. I don't know about that.
Didn't Sasha Banks put her over in Japan because she broke her ankle?
Yeah.
During the match.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was a smart thing. Like she thought on her feet because it wasn't supposed to end that way. That was an audible. They called an audible in the middle of the match. But even then I was like, it fit. Like she really did put on a good. If you can wrestle Sasha, she's underrated. If you can wrestle Sasha Banks, that's a judge. That's like how remember Sean Waltman? They used to make people wrestle Sean Waltman to tell if they could hang in WWE. People don't know that. That was their measuring stick with Sean Waltman. If you could hang in the ring with the six spot, you were good to go.
You had to wrestle the 1, 2, 3 kid.
I'm telling you, I'm being dead serious. That's what they used to do.
He was
the measuring stick. Him and the Undertaker.
Before Sean.
It wasn't a big stick.
Before Sean Waltman,
that's how good he is. He really is a good wrestler.
Before he became a walking drugstore, Sean Waltman was a fantastic worker. Yes.
Yes, he was.
But to your point, Chris.
Too bad he wasn't as good of a porn star because that one night in China was sad.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
Okay.
Please stay away from that. No, we do not endorse. We do not endorse.
I don't endorse bad porn. No, don't search that one.
No, we only endorse good skin flicks here on FTW Future Focus. But to your point, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead, big dog.
The pure championship match between Garcia and Shibata. That proves the point you just made about the New Japan talent. If they would bring those guys in and do matches that way on Dynamite, they would get
They'd have a show.
Live viewers.
They'd have a show.
Oh my God. But Tony, if you want to take the next segment, it's yours. I believe we're still waiting on interview, but I'm not sure.
Wait, well, Bobby gonna say something? He's pointing.
He said, "Keep going."
No, keep going. So, if you would move on to the ladies tag team thing, Tony.
All right. The ladies tag team thing. You mean Trinity?
No, Sonya Deville should be the next one.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, the new tag team champions in WWE. Will they have a long run, yes or no? Yeah, you're shaking your head because you know who's kicking this off. You know who's kicking this off.
Marcus.
Kicking it off.
Go ahead, Marcus.
First of all, know that has any of these women tag teams have a long reign?
No.
So why would
wait? Before you, when we say a long reign, I think we mean long reign for a women's tag team champion.
Tony, there's no definition.
A biscuit and a drink.
Okay, let me make myself clear. There is no definition, even the Tony Motown Allen definition of a long reign. What they have for this.
This was a Bobby Mastermind Rogers.
Well, you the one who just asked that dumbass question. So I already know. I'm pointing to you on this.
I heard that, Marcus. He said, "Who asked this dumbass question?"
Okay.
The mastermind did.
First of all,
go look at the group chat.
I mean, first of all, if you look at every women's tag team in WWE, they are no different than this elimination tournament that AEW is doing right now. They just put them together at random, and you're a tag team now with very little explanation, very little story. I mean, Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green were two jobbers, and now they're tag team champions. Absolutely not. They're gonna. I predict that. God damn. I predict that they're going to fuck around and lose to Piper Niven and to me are going to who they going to lose to? They're going to put them together.
Is Tamina still employed?
Hey, hit mute, Bobby. We can hear.
My question is what's wrong with Piper Niven? I heard that one.
No, I'm saying
We heard some. We heard you wash the dishes.
yeah.
That's right. I'm doing that too. I do it all here.
Right. I'm to answer the question. No, they will not have these. By the time SummerSlam gets here, they will not be the champion. I put me down. I guarantee it.
So you say they're gonna lose the titles before SummerSlam?
Before SummerSlam.
You want to put some money on that?
No, you know what? I'll put you like this. If I win, you can't do no scissoring. You can't do no babies. You can't do no fucking dumbass DMDs and
I'm in on this one.
Shit. You cannot do,
All right.
You cannot do
None of that.
Goddamn show.
You can't wear a wrestling shirt.
For
You can't do none of
SummerSlam.
that shit.
You can't smoke a cigar till SummerSlam. You can't drink, smoke a cigar, wear a wrestling shirt.
Oh, no, God, that's too far.
Nothing.
If Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green still had the tag team title going into SummerSlam,
Okay.
you will be singing, "Oh, scissor me, daddy." You will sing that shit on my birthday.
You're on.
Ooh.
He gonna sing it twice.
On my birthday.
You're
Uh-oh.
He gonna sing it twice.
You're on. You're on. But anyway, getting back to the question, no, they will not. No.
Okay, let me get in on this. Let me get on this real quick. Since I got some time and I'm in a private room.
Bobby.
What the hell is wrong with you, Marcus? I understand you don't like women's wrestling.
Okay.
I understand you don't think that it is viable in today's wrestling climate. But the key thing that you can't back out of now was something that happened after the match. When have you ever seen WWE spend money on pyro for when somebody wins the championship and they don't hold it for long? Never. Ever.
Bobby.
Never.
Bobby.
Never.
Bobby.
Never.
Bobby, I got one question for you.
Never. There's no question.
Do you want in on this bet?
Yeah, I want to in on this bet because I'm going to win this.
Bobby's going to be 0 for 3.
No,
I got to put my money on it now.
It's going to be if Marcus wins.
You should be scared, Tony. If Bobby bets Marcus, be scared, Tony.
I got to think of something.
Hold on. Look. I'll give you $20 straight
No
out.
French maid dresses, for the love of God.
Okay,
No.
$40 bucks.
Oh,
No,
wow.
$20.
Oh, see, you know what? Okay, fuck it, 20.
Okay.
Nah, he's working overtime. He's working extra right now. Get that 40, Marcus.
I'm trying.
Look at him instigate.
I'm trying.
Hey, Bobby, he said, who made this dumbass question up at the beginning of the segment? That's what he said.
I heard him. But the key thing is he's not paying attention. I mean, think about this. Seriously. I want everybody to think about this. When have they ever had pyro go off after somebody wins a championship and it's been a short reign? Never happened. Never happened. It has never happened.
I have to do my research, Bobby, before I answer that question.
They do not spend money on pyro unless they are strong behind that person or tag team doing something. They never do that.
How many women tag team champions other than Chance and Katana that Triple H take a picture with after they won the title?
Thank you.
Okay.
All of them. We don't. I'll be watching Twitter. All of them.
I was about to say, I thought it was quite a few.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Not the tag team.
Okay.
Not the tag team.
Not the women tag team.
They don't.
All right. Who's next? Who gets to go next?
You can go next, Chris.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. First of all, there was no storyline. I don't know what the hell happened. 1 minute, Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey were the champs. And then all of a sudden, they gave it back to my boo. And they only lose the titles when one of them is injured. And I got a sneaky feeling either they're getting ready to separate them for a singles runs or one of them is injured. Because this came out the blue. I don't know what the hell. When I heard, I didn't see it. When I heard it, I said, "Who the fuck? What? Chelsea? Who? And the big nose girl with the big nose? She still wrestles? I didn't know. I didn't know.
What?
They should have gave it to Becky and Tony Boo.
No.
Because I'm telling you, I can't look. They're not going to have these belts. I don't know if this is a transition thing. We know Ronda's probably leaving. That's why they sped up this little Shayna Baszler thing. Or because I really thought that was going to be a long tag team run. I really did. Shayna and Ronda. I was like, who's going to take these belts from these two? I didn't think anybody was. They lost them like 2 weeks later. I was like, okay.
Wait a minute. Before y'all start, did I say SummerSlam or Survivor Series?
You said SummerSlam.
Okay, actually meant Survivor Series. That's what I meant.
Damn, that's even longer. That's
now that I think about
that'll give you a better chance to win, Mark. You might as well say WrestleMania now that you're trying to change it.
but you know what? That's what I meant. But you know what? I'll go with. But we put it down.
Marcus, just say the year 2025. They're gonna lose it by then.
I'm gonna stick with what I said. That's what I know what I meant, but.
Okay.
I don't even know who they're gonna wrestle. Look, WWE doesn't care about the men's division. You think they give a damn about the women's tag team division?
Yeah, but
come on now. I had forgot that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was the tag team champions till they came on TV and wrestled what's his name? Dominic and Damian Priest.
It's amazing how Sami has fallen.
And it's not his fault. They did it to him. They know how. It's the machine that we always say. So if they don't care about the men's division, what makes you think they give a damn about the women's division? Next week, guess who's going to be the women's tag team champion? Stephanie McMahon, and just pick somebody, Roxy on the NXT.
Joink the Clown.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Real talk.
I mean,
they don't care.
Okay, Sami Zayn, just to sidetrack a little bit here, is becoming a victim of the Zack Ryder effect.
Yeah.
Nothing that Sami Zayn did last year was planned by WWE Creative. They fell into that. He was the main beneficiary of it, and they don't want him to be anymore. And so they're gradually phasing him out. But as far as the women's tag belts go, I'm not even sure that they're going to exist in the next few months. Because there's hardly a division to speak of, like Chris just got through saying, and they're basically irrelevant. They stick those belts on whoever they randomly choose. The only reason they stuck it on Ronda and Shayna in the first place is because they wanted them to feud. Ronda was on her way out, and they didn't have any other better ideas. So, Bobby may be right in that they don't give pyro to anybody that they're not going to get behind as champion. The only person I can think of that they ever shortchanged a big deal entrance for a title change for was Rey Mysterio at Mania 22. I think that's the only one I can think of. But the belts themselves are irrelevant. The titles barely mean anything, so no, I don't think Green and DeVille are going to have a long reign as champions. In fact, they may be the last champions at this.
They belong on NXT. I'd rather NXT have a women's tag team division because, it lets you build the talent up. To me, it fits better there on NXT. The roster's not big enough to have a tag team division too. You got two women's world champions. You know what I mean? There's two women's world titles. You don't need a tag team division.
Check this out. This is the thing. The problem, and we talked about this before, is something that goes deeper than beyond WWE. It even affects the independents. Is that no one is homegrowing these girls to be tag teams. They're homegrowing these girls and training these girls to be singles competitors.
Right.
Somebody like ourselves, I'm going to say, need to step up and start something to where we start growing women tag teams.
NXT.
No, NXT is too late. You need to start when they start off, right here in the independents, So when they get that experience, they go to NXT, they at least know the basics, and then can go further from the basics when they get up to the NXT. It starts with us. It starts with the independents, and we need to do better. I got a question I want to throw in there since we're waiting.
Wait, we're not waiting. I didn't go.
Right, I'm saying after you, I got a question for everybody.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna answer real quick. So go ahead,
Tony. Put your 2 cents in.
They're gonna have Marcus singing "Oh Scissor Me Daddy" on my birthday.
Nope.
Yeah. That's in 2 weeks.
No,
it's
that's
in 2
Daniel
weeks.
Bryan. Yes.
I thought I had 2 months. Yeah, you might be singing, Marcus.
Oh, yeah, if it's 2 weeks, then yeah, I might as well warm up my voice then.
Yeah, warm it up.
I actually meant Survivor, but that's all right. Go ahead.
When you said SummerSlam, that's all like that.
Yeah, I meant Survivor Series. But that's all right.
Are the tag team titles irrelevant? Yeah. I look at they're gonna have a long run for a women's tag team. This miracle round they've been on, I think we have 5 or 6 different champions over the last 5 or 6 weeks. That's gonna be done for a minute. They're gonna have those titles for a couple months. And to be honest with you, a couple months, like 2 to 3 months, even in jumping for Survivor Series, it's going to be a longer run. It is. And I really think they are going to get behind. I mean, Sonya Deville, they don't know what to do with. That woman's incredibly talented. She's sexy as fuck. If you don't notice she's sexy as fuck, you missed her from her post that I put in the Funhouse. Chelsea Green is a fucking beast. Like, Chelsea Green been a beast for years. But there's Triple H women that they can't get over in the singles. So Triple H going to use this tag team run to get these 2 over. This is do or die for them. I think it's going to be a good run for them. They're going to have the titles. They probably will drop it before Survivor Series, but they're going to have one of the better runs that we've seen because it's been a musical chair with those tag team titles. They don't have anybody lined up to take these titles. I mean, in my opinion, they need to put Chauncey Blackheart and Natalya Neidhart back together. Because I did like that makeshift tag team. I really did. And I'm not a huge fan of either one of them. I respect Natty. She's an incredible talent. I'm not a huge fan of Chauncey, but I like them 2 together. That's a team they need to develop. The point that Natalya's at with her career and what they need to do with Chauncey to get her over, they need to put them back together, though. But the answer to this question is yes. They're going to have a decent run for the women's tag team. It's going to be 2 to 3 months.
Well, what they need to do with Shotzi is let her be Shotzi Blackheart again and let her do what she did in the Independents because she was on fire out there.
Yeah, I would put Shotzi with Shayna Baszler because, she's the Queen of Hearts, Shotzi Blackheart, and you could do some kind of play on that name. I think that'd be a nice little team.
No. I agree with you, Chris. I agree with you, Chris. But here's why I say no to that, though. Shayna Baszler been in the women's tag team division way too long. She needs a run now. The woman's a 4-time.
Oh yeah. Once she beats Ronda, it's time to get her a push. But I want to see her versus Bianca Belair. And that's the match I want.
And that's the only reason I disagree with you. You are right. That would be a good tag team, but she needs to get out of that division. She needs to start focusing on singles. We need to see that badass machine whooping everybody's ass like he was in NXT.
Yeah.
Bobby, what was your question for the panel?
Okay. My thing is, there's only one person that Chauncey Blackheart needs to team up with, and people don't understand this combination until you see the independence, and that's Nikki Cross. That's why she's going to the crazy journey.
Yeah.
Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
And Shotzi Blackheart are going to be those 2 that they're going to team up and tag team against a Chelsea Green and a Sonya Deville. So we can get prepared for that right now.
I got a question for you, Bobby, though.
What?
Is WWE creative enough to pull the trigger on that?
No.
Triple H is.
He needs to, though. Because, I like that team. I like that idea.
Yeah,
I like that team, but neither of them, they're both not a good promo.
And only problem with that Only problem with that is
Whoa,
the late
whoa,
night
whoa, whoa, whoa,
charge.
whoa, 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 whoa. Let me go ahead and count it out. You give Shotzi Blackheart the microphone, and it is a done deal when she does a Blackheart gimmick.
I haven't
They've been
seen
having her
anything
out of
yet.
her, but they haven't been putting her in her element. She's out of her
No,
element.
I agree. I have to see something though, because that's the
Don't
only
worry,
thing that's held Nikki Cross back is she's just not a good promo, man. She's
We
better
would
when she plays crazy.
we would care about all of these women, and there would be more tag teams, and there would be much better angles with all of them if they had their own show. WWE Creative, number one, doesn't have the talent and doesn't have the stones to actually pull the trigger on that, and they
What?
should
Wait,
have years ago.
If you
You cannot
combine
say
the
they don't have.
Knockouts
They don't. You
division
can't.
with
No, you
WWE's
cannot say they don't have
division,
the
that's
talent
a
in
show.
WWE. The WWE, they got the most talented women's division.
No,
They have enough good talent. They're spread out between 3 shows.
their top end is the best. TNA still the Knockouts division is the most competitive division in women's wrestling.
But their talent is watered down in WWE because you got a couple good ones on Raw. You have a couple good ones on SmackDown. You got a couple good ones on NXT. Combine the divisions and make one show would work. They have the talent to do that.
You need that Knockouts division plus WWE's division, and then you take the best of the
Knockout
best.
division, they have a solid division, but they don't have a lot of great women in
I
there.
just said, and you add it to WWE's division. Listen to me, brother.
No,
You put them
at
two divisions
NXT.
together. You bring a Trinity back, a Diana Perrazzo, Jessica, Mae Young, all them. You bring all them back, and you put the WWE's top talent.
Marcus
But in
looks
your division now,
disgusted.
you got Shayna Baszler, you
I'm
got
just waiting
Ronda
for you to move
Rousey, you
on.
got Becky, you got Bayley, you
Ronda
got
Rousey's on the way out, brother. She gone
fine, she's
again.
on the way out, but utilize her while she's there. You got
Yeah.
Bianca Belair, you got Charlotte, you got Asuka, you got Io
They're
Scott.
top heavy. We all agree they're top heavy. Yep, you're right. You just agreed to my point.
I think Marcus
You can name
wants
more
to move
top
on.
heavy between those 3 divisions that WWE have than you have in Impact Wrestling.
And I said Impact's more competitive. Listen to what I'm saying. I said their division's more competitive.
When you're mediocre, yeah.
Speaking of the Knockouts division, I think that Marcus wants to talk about his boo. So we'll move on to the next subject, which is Trinity Fatu. She just won the Knockouts title in
Look at Marcus smiling.
And
hold on. No. We got interview here.
Oh,
okay,
my
cool.
mistake. My mistake. Okay, Bobby, take it away.
Okay,
We'll
ladies and gentlemen, future talent of wrestling, I do want to introduce a superstar. She is a lady that has came through and done a lot in the independent scene. She is going to be at World Finance Wrestling next Saturday on the 29th for the women's tournament to determine the first World Finance Women's Champion. She has been all over the place. This girl is nuts. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to introduce you. Go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody. Go ahead, because I'm like flustered right now.
No worries. Well, I appreciate the intro. Now I got to live up to the hype. My name is Juniper Gates. Some know me as the Vaporwave Vixen or the Last Unicorn. But I'm actually really excited. Right now I'm getting ready for a show, and then obviously World's Finest Wrestling already in my mind for next Saturday.
Cool. So how long you been working?
So in September it'll be 3 years.
3 years. Oh boy. So I bet you got a lot of juicy stories from that 3 years. Let me ask you a question. We all start off with training, and I do this with everybody because everybody wants to talk about the wonderful years of you being in the ring, people either cheering or booing or something like that. But training is where it starts. Let me ask you, what would you say would have been the most difficult thing in training that you had to go through?
Honestly, being athletic, it wasn't so much learning the moves. It was kind of getting in the mindset of a wrestler and learning the psychology aspect of it. I felt like I picked up on a lot of the moves, but being able to really connect with a crowd, that took some just live practice, honestly.
Yeah. So, do you prefer to be like a heel or a face?
I definitely prefer to be a face, but there have been a few places they just didn't receive me well because of who I am. So I worked heel and kind of just really took hold of that role, and I've done a good job in the places I've needed to work heel at.
I understand that one too. I had to do that in Evansville. I had to flip the script on them, and they did not understand it. And I still got a standing ovation after I did that, so I understand that big time. Let me ask you, notable, who have you worked with in big time in your career? Who would you say will probably be your favorite matches that you've had?
I would have to say that my favorite opponents would either be Thunder Kitty or Randy West. Randy kind of taking me under her wing along with Schwartzy. I've had a chance to work with her several times.
Okay, I know them personally.
Yeah,
they're both.
I
really
know
good
Randy.
people.
I love Randy. I love Randy. She's one of the best competitors out there today. And well, I can't spoil her gimmick. Let's just say I like her. She's cool. So Randy West, Joseph Schwartz. So you've been through the Detroit stable a little bit. Let me ask you this. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying a little bit. Flophouse kind of brought me under their wings when I first got started.
Right on, right on. So besides Flophouse and World Finest Wrestling, where else have you appeared?
I've wrestled a few different places in Michigan. There's Total Chaos Wrestling, Imperial Wrestling Entertainment. I've wrestled for City Championship Wrestling. In Indiana, I've also wrestled for AWR a handful of times. Right now, I'm in Ohio. I've wrestled for XVW and Future Great Wrestling multiple times. Just anywhere I can sink my teeth into.
Right on. I know Future Great very well. That's Shield maiden over there. Love her.
That's actually who I'm going to be facing tonight. So
oh my God, are you serious?
Absolutely.
Oh, see, I can't pick a winner now. That's not fair. Okay. So, World Finest Wrestling is coming up. This is a big time step. This is for the first women's championship. What is going through your mind right now?
Right now it's just focusing on my cardio because obviously being a tournament, my plan and expectation is to make it past the first round. So I need to make sure that if I do so, I have enough left in the tank for the semifinals and the finals.
Cool. So, who's your first opponent?
It's going to be Savannah Sweet. And while I haven't heard of her, I'm always up for a challenge.
I have not heard much of her either, but it looks like from what I have heard, it's going to be a definite barn burner between you two. Let me ask you, how would it feel if you went through this tournament and won the World Finest Wrestling Women's Championship?
Oh, I'd absolutely be ecstatic. Previously, I'd won the XVW Ladies Championship, but I lost it to Ari Alexander. So I kind of expect at some point, if I do make it to the finals, she would be a likely candidate to be my opponent for sure.
Oh, that's interesting.
Grudge match.
So you already defeated Ari on this. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be real fun now. Well, Miss Gates, I know you got a show to do. Anybody else got any questions?
Can I ask her a quick question?
No, but go ahead.
No, just knowing you went up against Randy West because I've seen her a couple times live, and she's a beast. But what if you go up against Big Mama in this tournament? What's your strategy?
Honestly, I've been able to see Big Mama work a handful of times. She's incredibly strong, so I would just work on my agility and honestly my chain wrestling. Biggest way to
you're my favorite now.
Chop it down.
Just so you know, you're my favorite now. So
Thank you.
So I'm expecting you and Big Mama to meet somewhere in the tournament.
Perfect.
Juniper, I'm going to be Juniper, I'm going to be calling the tournament for World's Finest, so I'm really looking forward to your matches. And one question that I had for you was about We were just talking about women's exclusive women's promotions on the independent circuit. How many of those have you worked for, and would you like to see more of those in the future?
So while I haven't had a chance to work on any yet myself, I would absolutely love to see that. I feel like there's an explosion of women's wrestling, and being able to be a part of it as it's just kind of evolving. It's really a great place to be for me, and I'm willing to take on any challenge that puts itself in front of me.
Cool.
Well, you know what? I do want to thank you. I know you got a show to get ready for. If you guys don't kill each other, tell Shells Babe I said hello. But we look forward to seeing you next week on the 29th.
Definitely look forward to seeing you all. It's going to be a unicorn stampede, and hopefully this gal goes home with the gold.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one, the only Juniper Gates. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for having me, and have a wonderful day.
Nice to meet you, and good luck.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
And this is what we do here at FTW. We appreciate a lot of women's wrestling. We will be putting a forefront on this.
Yes, sir.
This is something that we got to do. I think it's our mission. I think it has a couple of things and a couple of symbols that just came to me that makes me think we got to get involved in this a little bit more. But check us out next week, live, Independent Island, World Finest Wrestling. It's going down. We will be there focusing on the women's tournament, women's wrestling. It's going to be a fun day. It's going to be a fun day.
And I love tournaments, and I love calling them. So, yeah.
And I'm calling it now. You said, what's she going if she face Big Mama? I'm calling it now. There's going to be some shenanigans. There's going to be some cheating. There's going to be some BS.
Got Big Mama winning the whole thing, brother.
Kenzie J is going to eliminate Big Mama in the first round.
No.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to step away. Rob, Tony, take over.
Okay,
right, cool.
You got it. Well, we were going to go to Marcus's boo, Trinity Fatu. She recently won the Impact title, Knockouts title.
My boo.
Yeah, exactly. So
we might get a fight.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not necessary.
Oh, it is.
But anyway,
Chris
we're
is
going to
stepping
let
on some
Marcus go
toes.
first on this one.
You don't hear Marcus talk about he's going to bend Liv Morgan over, make her his boo.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
No, I can't been a long time been over a table she might miss.
Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
My baby. Don't talk about my boo like that.
Anyway, gentlemen, is this a turning point for the Knockouts division? And who on the Impact roster or otherwise would you like to see Trinity face off against, have a feud with? Marcus, go ahead.
I don't know if I can say it's a turning point simply because as much as I love Trinity, you know, how much is it going to do for Impact's ratings at all to make it mean something? I mean, they're on Access Network where, you know, they get barely any viewers. I mean, we all knew, I called it when she came that she had a title by September and she's a month earlier. So that's that's not a surprise to anybody. And Impact's women, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know who other than one or two of them are. So, I mean, it will bring attention to the division. I don't know how much on a large scale, but I mean, I've tried to watch a match or two that wasn't a tag team match, and they're okay. I think her biggest competitor could be and the match I would like to see if she's not retired, which is supposedly is Mickie James. That's who I would really like to see, her and Trinity. I think that's a match with their name value that could really do something for the division and bring some attention to some other women like Purrazzo and Griselle, whatever the hell her name is, Griselle and Jessica. Those are the only names in Impact that I know. So I mean, I think any good attention for Impact helps, but it's gonna make a big difference as of right now. As much as I hate to say it, baby, nah, not really, nah.
Tony, how you feel about it?
I'm happy Marcus said that because I feel the exact same way. Is it good? Yes. Does he deserve it? Absolutely. I'm happy that she's a champion.
Yeah.
But I don't see it being that impact that they're anticipating, though. But it is definitely good, though. But but like you said earlier, Chris, I mean, it's a very competitive division, so that's why I really don't see like her having a title being that much of an impact on it, though. But it's going to be fun. I mean, I think she's gonna draw some more eyes on the product. I mean, like Trinity does have a following though, so that's good. But the couple honorable mentions, like I don't know how much the women still wrestle in Impact though, so I'm kind of going blind on this though. Like I like to see her doing a program with like Too Young and Rosemary, of course. I mean, I think those could be good ones if those girls are still active. I don't really follow Impact to know like how much they actually wrestle. You know they're gonna have a rematch with Deonna Purrazzo. That should be good too, though. But the match that I will tune in to see though is Trinity defending that title against Jordan Grace. I'm a huge Jordan Grace fan.
Yes.
I like Jordan Grace a lot. That of all the matchups you could possibly see in Impact, that's the one I want to see. I don't follow her enough. I heard a lot about Tasha Steele. I don't know how good the girl actually is. She's sexy as fuck. But I don't know how good she actually is in the ring, though. But I mean, that might be a good matchup for Tasha to get into the ring. It's not gonna be an Impact matchup, but it could be something good for her though, because she seems relatively new though. No, but the matchup I want to see is Jordan Grace.
Chris,
can I go next?
Oh yeah. Well,
let me go next while I got time.
All right.
Yeah. I don't think this is the first step to it being impactful. There's a second step that nobody's considering that I think that could happen. That could really change the landscape. We have one more young lady out there that contract is already up with where she's at. That could sign with Impact and blow the roof off the place.
Oh, they get her. That's a game changer.
And that's Mercedes Moné.
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
If you have Trinity and Mercedes Moné facing each other for that title,
that's game changer.
And having a long-lasting story.
Yeah.
It is a done deal. They have flipped the game. They have flipped that Aunt Jemima pancake and putting butter and syrup on that side. I'm telling you. I think this is the plan. I think this is where they're going. It's too coincidental that when Mercedes Moné's contract is up with New Japan, she wins the title this soon. I thought it was going to be later. You know what I'm saying? But she wins it this soon, and then Mercedes Moné is hurt, but she's her contract is up. I'm sorry, she's going to Impact, Mercedes, and it's going to change the whole aspect in women's wrestling. Is going to be on the forefront because of those two. I'm telling you, you're going to see a whole bunch of women flood in over there from AEW and WWE to go to Impact. That's my thought on it.
I got a question for you, Bobby. Based off your answer.
What's up?
Do you think there's a possibility that AEW could get Mercedes before Impact?
This is the problem. If it was just a New Japan wrestling relationship, I'd say yes. But I'm looking at the personal relationship between Mercedes Moné and Trinity. They quit together.
Yeah.
They walked out together. So that's going to override any type of business relationship that the two companies may have. And unless AEW says Impact, we want to do a Forbidden Door thing with Mercedes and them, and then we will take, Trinity after you get through with her. I don't see it happening. I'm seeing Mercedes going to Impact.
I mean, that's a good point, though.
But my question is, you think Impact can afford her?
I think she will actually. I don't think she's going to go for that much money.
That I was going to address on my turn.
Oh no! But what I'm saying is,
Damn.
AEW don't want to
My
shitload
turn.
of money.
We're a little bit down.
I don't think she's gonna.
We got 30 more minutes, Chris. We good. You got time.
Yeah, for that personal relationship that they have, I don't think that she's gonna ask for that money. I think she would actually take a pay cut to do that
Okay.
because that's how tight they are. Now, don't get me wrong; they can't give a food stamp. Oh, snapping! I got people coming in. They can't give a food stamp, but guess what? She's going to Impact. I got to go to the front desk stuff.
All
right, cool.
Chris, go ahead.
You know, Taylor Wilds, Killian King, Tasha Steeles. There's a lot of talent on that roster. Tony said it because Tony doesn't watch it. I'm just saying, Tony, when I said it's competitive division, it is.
I was about to ask you, like, can you educate me on Tasha Steele though, because it seemed like
all of them. These women, I don't know what Impact's always had the type of women's wrestling where I thought that's what women's wrestling is supposed to look like. Like when I watch, there's no shenanigans, there's no BS. I'm being honest with you. When you watch a women's match, it's usually cleaner, less botches, and they're more on each other's level. It reminds me of the old NXT when Charlotte and Becky and all them were all in NXT. But even then, I can't tell you that NXT was better than the Knockouts division in 06 to 2010. I can't tell you what Gail Kim and Awesome Kong and the beautiful people and all them. I can't say that was a better division than them.
That's not fair to compare those two because the 06 to 010, that was a legendary stat division.
When they talk about the women's revolution, I think the Knockouts division started the women's revolution. That's me personally. I was watching Impact when Impact was making, and I don't think Trinity made any impact. I'm just going to be honest with you. I disagree with everything Bobby said. Sasha Banks, I'm going to call her old name because I still don't know what her real name is, was one of the biggest stars in WWE. That's the fact. She was up there with Charlotte. We were talking to Charlotte, Sasha, Becky, and Bayley. That's the four horsewomen. She's going to AEW. Number one, they have a relationship with Impact, so they can still throw that match if they want. But Sasha Banks is not going. When I was doing my research on the ratings, I stumbled across what they make in Impact. They don't make no money in Impact. I'm sorry. Not the kind of money a Sasha Banks can command. She's making more money in Japan than would make an Impact. And I guarantee you, Tony Khan with Jay Cargill leaving, and we know the disarray that women's division's in, and he's hired every WW. Hold on, bro. Let me finish my point. Let me do I didn't interrupt your turn.
I got a question for you afterwards.
I'll forget. Yeah. He's thrown money at every WWE women's star that's left. That's facts. Every time somebody's left, except for Trinity, because I thought she would ended up there. I would see he could make Sasha Banks could be their CM Punk in their women's division. That could give that women's division the boost AEW needs at the top of their division. And we know he's got the money to give her whatever she wants. Those are facts. I can see her going there and Trinity eventually leaving Impact after a year and going to AEW. So, I mean, I'm just being honest with you. Women's wrestling, AEW's Impact, nobody watches Impact. I watch the replays on YouTube. I do not watch Impact during the week. I watch replays. I watch individual matches that stand out to me. So having a Trinity hit the show, it did not make me go, ooh, I need to turn into Impact this week. It's not as big as having a big name male star hit your show. And Trinity, as much as we all love her, and that's Marcus's boo, she still was a mid-tier star at best in WWE. And that's facts.
Okay.
But no, wait, can I ask Chris a question? Because I want to take it on something he said. A little bit off topic for Trinity, to be honest with you. It's about Jade. I thought Jade was just taking a break. She's leaving?
No, she said she can make more money than what she can make over there. That's what she said. I think she might be in the movies or something, or getting ready to do that OnlyFans thing like Mandy Rose.
God, that kind of hurt my heart because I was kind of waiting for her to come back. That was my question because when you said
never say never in wrestling. Tell him, Rob, never say never.
That's
CM Punk's back.
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan came back.
Yo, I was
Edge is
not.
back.
Wait, no, I'm not trying to wait them years.
Nah, she's young enough.
Yeah, that's true.
I need more Jade in my life.
Trinity is. I think she could be a top tier star if used correctly.
I do too.
Yeah, the thing is, she's not a game changer on her own right now.
Right.
However, the one thing that we're forgetting in this conversation is the co-op, because AEW, New Japan, Impact, NWA, all of those places, especially when you're talking women's division, have a very solid relationship with each other.
Yep.
Trinity has enough star power to where she would make a huge splash if she were able to do interpromotional matches. One match that I would love to see her do, even as much as Mercedes Moné, I would love to see Trinity take on Camille.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody sleeps on Camille. I love that girl. She's huge. She's strong. She's talented. And
They don't know who she is.
I know, but they need to learn, because she's had that belt for 765 days, and she's had the Burke almost as long as Reigns has had his belts. So
Reigns over 1,000 days, Rob.
But
he got year on her.
And you just told me a few weeks ago the NWA is an indie wrestling show to you, so it don't mean nothing to me.
Well,
on the indie show.
Maybe so, but it could
but
be.
She means something to me.
Especially,
I know her talent.
Yeah, the co-op is what I'm talking about here. And Trinity can make herself into a huge name by doing that, especially if she takes the Knockouts title to Stardom and has the Monet match there. That would be money.
So in theory, though, the title's more impactful for Trinity than Impact Wrestling.
Possibly, yes. The co-op is more impactful than for Impact itself, is what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
Trinity Fatu is in a fantastic position.
Oh, she is, without a doubt.
And as deep as the Knockouts division is, as Chris pointed out, she has got a hell of an opportunity to go from one level to the next.
Well, she's a big fish in a small pond right now.
I do have a question for the panel when you're done, Rob.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just finished, so go ahead and ask it.
In my opinion, and I think we talked about this before in the show. I'm not sure we talked about it in the show or off air. I don't know. Trinity being Impact, I don't really think that was a Trinity decision. I think that was more of an Uso decision because of the AEW WWE dynamic, and that was a safe place for her to go without burning husband bridges. Do you think the Usos are going to prevent her from going to AEW when given the opportunity when her contract's up?
I don't know, because it's wrestling, man. They just make money. They're wrestlers. You know, they all have wives that work for different shows. I mean, when we really see who's married to who, there's AEW wrestlers married to WWE wrestlers. And dating, vice versa. But let me ask y'all both something. Have y'all seen a Trinity match since she's been on Impact?
Not yet.
I'll wait.
Not yet.
Okay. We're hardcore wrestling fans, and we're fans of Trinity. And I'm saying that's when you said that she make an impact, and none of us have seen a Trinity match since she's been on Impact.
Mark is on camera, so I'm gonna say this now.
Not true.
Shit, he's back.
Not true.
No, that's 1 out of 4 guys. That's what I'm saying. That's not an impact. It didn't change nothing.
I was happy to hear that she won the title.
I was too. But you haven't rushed to go watch her match, have you?
To be fair, the only reason that I haven't is because
she's not a Joshi.
Plate is full. Thank you for joining us on FTW Future Focus.
If she was a Josie, Rob would have been all over it.
Well, see, the thing is, I don't get to watch Stardom either. I have never seen
Let
it.
Oscar go to Impact. I bet you Rob be like, I've seen every Oscar match on Impact.
Whoa.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
wait. I think Rob is more of an Io Sky guy, though.
I think he's an Oscar and an Io Sky equally.
That's a good point. You got a good rub.
No,
but then again,
pick one, Rob. Oscar or Io Sky.
Hikaru Shida is my boo.
Oh yeah, I love me some Shida.
Shida is my lady.
She's the one Joshi that AEW have that could go. She's the one.
I don't know where she's been. Why is she on TV more?
Well, probably for the same reason FTR ain't.
Yeah, she need to be on Impact. I mean, on damn Impact.
I like the little Joshi that looked like Freddie Mercury that had the little mustache.
What is her name?
That was my favorite Joshi.
I can't remember her name offhand. But
she never won a match, but she was entertaining as hell. And that's what I watch wrestling for sometimes. Just entertain me.
In Marcus's defense of us not watching Trinity like he does, Impact is not all that easy to watch when you want to watch it. So
it's not.
So we don't cover Impact as much, and I think that we need to improve on that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, most of my Impact watching is hitting the fast forward. I'm gonna be straight honest with you until her segments come on, and I will try to see a little in between the time is anything worth watching, but But
wait.
I'll tell you, I've watched Impact literally in like 10 to 15.
Usually your world champion's your best wrestler.
Wait, Chris. This shows where Impact is at. Marcus don't even like women wrestling, and he's fast forwarding to the women.
But how many times has he watched Impact for Trinity? Come on now.
I'm not fast forwarding to women. I am fast forwarding to Trinity. Don't make it seem. Don't make it seem like I'm watching women matches.
I'm gonna tell you, Tony, Impact's so bad. Usually, your best wrestler is your champion. MJF, Reigns. They're trying to convince me Alex Shelley is the best wrestler on the roster, and that's their world champion. When you still got Josh Alexander on this roster, who is one of the best wrestlers in the world, might I add. Well, you got a Josh Alexander on your roster, and I mean the list goes on and on.
Wait. This is the same company, and I got a lot of respect for Tessa Blanchard, but for a time, she was the world heavyweight champion. She was the best wrestler.
That was terrible. That was awful.
It was either her or Sami Callihan.
That was awful.
And I would take her over Sami Callihan any day.
They had Michael Elgin. No, that was terrible.
Whoa!
Wait a minute.
Michael Elgin got zero personality whatsoever.
But he's better than Tessa. No.
He wasn't better than Tessa Blanchard. No, he wasn't. He's crazy.
My God, are you all serious?
Oh God,
she's one of the ghosts.
No. Elgin, zero personality, phenomenal. No, he's phenomenal in the ring.
That's all I'm saying.
Tessa was a beast.
He has always been good.
No, but he's not better than Chris Sabin, who's in his own stable. Chris Sabin's a better wrestler, a better promo. When they come out, Chris Sabin does he's the X Division champion. He does all the talking. And then Alex Shelley, I just don't get it. I don't get it, bro.
That was like when Moxley had the world title and a faction with Bryan Danielson.
I don't get it.
I don't get when
I don't do legacy championships.
But you're not the best wrestler in your faction.
I don't do legacy championships.
I had no idea that you guys were so anti-Motor City Machine Gun.
No. I'm not anti-Motor City. I'm talking about as your world. You're trying to sell they must have just stopped trying to sell the company. Like, we don't care about ratings.
I love, as a tag team, I love the Motor City Machine Guns. But when your best wrestler is Alex Shelby
for the whole show, come on now.
All right.
Yeah, and they got Nick Aldis down there.
They got Nick. They got Josh Alexander. I mean, they still got Edwards. They got everybody.
Moose.
Yeah, Moose
needs to get on WWE before he gets too old. Because he's a WWE wrestler. He has everything you want in a WWE wrestler.
So does Bobby Lashley, and they're screwing him too.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm always going to push for back, but that's who I would have fight Bobby Lashley.
With Bobby Lashley, though, with oh God, Street Profits.
Actually, I'd team them.
They let
Lashley.
Bobby Lashley's best years were in Impact. Facts.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, that was good.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yes. We have got like 15 minutes left,
and we haven't done moment of the week at Utah.
Y'all didn't tell us to. It wasn't on the list.
Well, who's got one and who don't?
I
got them. I just said it wasn't on the list.
First, I go second because I got mine.
I got mine too.
Whether it's on the list or not, I always have mine ready.
Yeah, me too.
I got mine too.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I know Bobby. Like, even though he don't put it on the list, like, it's always like, hey, have it ready every week.
Marcus, since Tapped Out is your division, I will let you take lead on that one.
Okay. My tap out moment was that stupid ass fucking dance off with
MJF and
Alice Cole and Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara, who has absolutely positively no rhythm whatsoever. I mean, that whole routine was an abomination. Okay, I mean, you got your world champion involved in that bullshit. I've never seen so many men do pelvic thrusts at each other in my life. And then when Daniel Garcia put his head in between Sammy Guevara's legs, I turned the TV off because I had to go to the bathroom and vomit when I couldn't believe I saw this man put his head in between another man's legs. I couldn't believe it. But even that wasn't my tap out. My tap out was at the end of the match. Okay, at AEW, we've seen damn near every finishing move get kicked out of. We've seen guys go through fucking tables and kick out. We've seen a guy get stomped with a cinder block and got kicked out. But yet in 2003, a finishing move in a tournament is a fucking double clothesline.
Marcus, 23.
I quit.
2023.
I quit.
May I go next?
Yeah, I just
go ahead.
Wait. But Marcus, you're absolutely right. You absolutely right though, because first of all, we don't need dance offs in a men's match ever. If you are stupid enough, Tony Khan, if you're stupid enough to do it, can you pick some motherfucker with some goddamn rhythm?
Oh my God.
Go ahead, Rob. I just want to throw that out there. It ain't like we ain't got the time.
Marcus, you read my mind.
Oh, man.
Oh, good Lord in heaven. When I tune in to a professional wrestling show, I want to see professional wrestling. I don't want to see fucking world's finest dancing.
And that well you didn't.
You didn't.
Yeah.
You would have thought Rob would have thought it was good dancing.
Man.
Oh my God, no! But no, I don't want I don't watch Dancing with the Stars. That's why I watch.
They didn't either.
Wrestling. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Because when I tune into my wrestling, the last thing I want to see is Dancing with the motherfucking Stars.
Rob, don't turn into a psycho on here. Come on, calm down.
I'm just saying, if ever a low blow was justified, the move that Marcus described should have been a headbutt to the groin,
man,
to the world.
That's hilarious.
That should have ended the match. But yeah, that was my tap out too. Tony, go ahead before I do turn psycho.
I'll go last.
Same show, different moment. not taking nothing away from y'all tap outs because y'all probably have more of a tap out than me, but my tap out is something that disgusted me personally on the exact same show. Your winner and new FTW champion, Jungle Bitch.
No. And now it's Perry Bitch.
Perry.
I didn't see it. I'm mad now. Now I'm pissed off. We haven't had a lot of FTW champions. We have Taz. We had Ricky Starks. We had Sabu. We had Hawk. We had Tony Motown Allen. My belt's in the house. And I don't even want to bring it out for this segment because the belt's disgrace. Jungle Bitch? Perry Bitch? I told y'all. Didn't I tell y'all?
I blame you.
That's your future world champion someday right there.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's scary. That is really, really scary. That 90210 son is our FTW champion. It disgusts me. And I think the thing that pissed me off the most about it is I was in denial. I was in a lot of denial. And I want to say, Chris, you said it was going to happen.
I did. I predicted it. And I told you he should turn into a heel.
And deep down inside, like, as much as I tried to deny that was going to happen, I had that bad feeling in the pit of my stomach that bitch was going to win the FTW title. Mm-hmm. And he did. There was nothing that pissed me off any more than that. If it wasn't for that, I was with you guys on the dance off. Because that was some embarrassing shit. Like, and you know I love Adam Cole, baby. But that was some embarrassing shit. He was probably the worst of the four out there dancing.
No, Sammy was worse.
But all right, my turn.
But that bitch winning the FTW title is definitely by far, without a doubt, my tap out.
Chris,
go ahead, Chris.
I can't imagine what you've got.
Well, Dark Side of the Ring got it wrong. I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago, but I watched the Abdullah, and what kills me is these guys. The guy that sued him for hepatitis C. Mm-hmm. How do you know who gave it to you when you've been doing blood matches and death matches that's your thing? Don't blame Abdul the Butcher. He might have got it from who knows where he got it from. Chris, but that shows that they weren't
blaming one person for giving her fucking disease when she
you can't blame one guy when the guy had so many when they should have make the show about Abdul the Butcher and then make a separate show about that whole episode. But the way they cut the Abdullah thing up, it was choppy. They were in the past, in the future. I didn't like how they did Abdullah. He is one of the GOATs. He's one of the greatest gimmicks of all time in professional wrestling. Wherever that guy went, I was scared to death. When I said I thought NWA was real and WCC, because he used to wrestle Kevin, he wrestled the Von Erichs. Yeah. I mean, he was wrestling in the 70s, trained by the Sheik, the craziest dude in the history of wrestling already, who trained Sabu's uncle. I used to think wrestling was real because of Abdullah the Butcher
and Bruiser Brody and all that shit was fake.
Yeah,
man, it wasn't fake. It was fake. But if you're gonna let a guy blade you, and that was his own fault. But you're gonna let a guy blade you, you put your hands in. You can't go turn around and sue him after you, because I guarantee he was bragging. Abdul the Butcher's gonna blade me tonight. It was an honor to be in that retirement match with Abdul the Butcher. But don't tell me that's where you got Hep C and you've been bleeding all over Canada for a decade in matches. It pissed me off. It ticked me off. It's ruined Abdul the Butcher's life. I mean, he was one of the highest paid wrestlers at the top peak of his career. He has nothing. The man was left with nothing. And I just thought Dark Side of the Ring dropped the ball on this story. Either show, I hate how I know they want to show us the bad side, but some of their stories are so unorthodox. Like, tell a true story, beginning, middle, end. Don't tell that looked like 2 episodes to me when I watched it. So I just thought that's my tap out moment, was the Abdullah story.
That's a good tap out. I love Abdullah the Butcher.
I did
wasn't
too.
a fan of Abdullah the Butcher, but he made you feel like it was real.
Yeah.
Like him and Bruiser Brody. I used to love how they used to do the loser league town match, and the winner would follow the loser to the other federation to continue the feud.
Yeah.
Yeah. The matches they had, I mean, like I legit thought him and Brody hated each other.
Yeah, well, yeah, they were the best of friends, but they beat the living hell out of each other.
I still think they hated each other.
Well, okay. May I lead off moment?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I think we've got some time left for a moment. I'm going to make this short. My moment of the week was Friday night's Death Before Dishonor pure title match between Daniel Garcia and Shibata. Because that was the exact opposite of the shit they did on Impact. Garcia tried to dance in that match, and Shibata shut him down every single time. Shibata looked at the kid's face, basically, and said, listen, you're going to take this seriously, or I'm going to smack the shit out you. And he did it. More than once. And it was lovely. That whole match was just wrestling caviar, and I recommend going to YouTube or wherever you can find it and watch Shibata versus Daniel Garcia. It will take the disgusting taste of that fucking dance off out of your mouth. It's beautiful. That was my moment. Who's next?
I'm on that.
Go ahead.
Y'all, because y'all didn't pick mine, so don't worry about it. You're not picking this one, Marcus.
Okay.
Because again, this is my personal pick. Because I love him. Dominic Mysterio is your new North American champion.
Yeah.
I was hoping for it. I didn't think they pulled the trigger, and I'm so happy for Dom. Dom do not get enough respect for how much he has grown since he left his daddy and he got with mommy. He has grown on promos. He has grown in the ring. He is so much better now, and I'm so happy that he got that title. And I like the fact that he got this title because a lot of people be up in arms if he wins like a world title, one of the major titles. Granted, I think the kid could do it. It would draw all kind of heat. People would spend their money to see him lose that title. I am so happy that along with mommy, Dirty Dom, mommy's little Dom has gold too. Yeah. And I like it not only for Dom, but also like it for Judgment Day. Now we know that they've been hinting like Finn leaving Judgment Day, and it's set up perfect though. Rhea's your women's champion, Dom's your North America champ, Damian Priest is your Money in the Bank winner, and then you got Finn. It's gonna set up. Yeah.
Is he gonna keep that title, or are they gonna strip him?
He's gonna keep it.
I'd give him the tag team belt too.
Seeing how we've already established a precedent for that already with Solo.
But WWE is wishy-washy on that precedent. They don't stick with their own rule.
Right. I'm just throwing that. I'm just throwing that hypothetical question out there.
Because in the WWE's eyes, which is retarded. So before I even give you the WWE's answer, this is not how I look at it. This is how they look at it. You can't be an NXT champion and called up and keep your title. But you can be on a main roster and go down to NXT and win a title and not get stripped, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah. Okay, but go ahead, Fed. Go ahead.
No, I love it is really good for the company itself because Judgment Day is solidifying himself as a solid, reputable faction. and this is gonna go a long way, and he's gonna draw more heat because so many people hate Dominic. So many people gonna hate he has that title. He defended the title on SmackDown a couple of days ago. I think it's good. I think it's good for NXT. I think it's good for that title, and I think it's good for Judgment Day. Dominic's a future star.
Chris, what's your moment?
There's just levels to this. I'm SmackDown. Jay Uso, main event Jay Uso.
Yeah,
might be the most believable character right now, gimmick in wrestling. When I watch him, first of all, and I'm gonna say this too, Roman Reigns. Watch him closely. He has all the Rock's mannerisms. He does everything the Rock does. He does the basking. He comes out, addresses the city. I thought I was watching The Rock on Friday. I literally was like, "This is The Rock."
It was like The Rock.
He sounded like The Rock. He talked like The Rock. He's so quick with his facials, though. I would say he had the best facials in wrestling right now until you look at main event Jey Uso's facials. Like he looks like he don't even want to be there, don't want to say nothing. His believability factor for me is through the roof. It was another stellar performance on SmackDown where I walked away going, they're so good. I almost am convinced I watched a good wrestling show. That's how good they end the show when the bloodline comes on. I'll think, damn, SmackDown was pretty good tonight. No, it wasn't. But that segment was a 10 out of 10. It just every single freaking time. And then Paul Heyman getting on his knees and doing all kind of shit. Heyman's he's brilliant. So that's my moment of the week until they get dethroned.
Okay.
The piggyback on what you said. First of all, Paul Heyman has a base facial expression in wrestling.
I don't know, man. Jey Uso, man, that little mean mug he does where he's like disgusted and then he talks.
But here's what made Jay on a different level, though. Roman is being Roman, but he's being a character.
Yeah.
He's being a character that is a lot of him. Jey Uso is 1,000% real. He comes off as completely real to you, though. And that's why it's getting over, because you believe that's how he is. Like, he's authentic.
He was getting the Uso chance and he wasn't even talking.
Yeah.
Okay, Marcus, what's your moment? And then we'll let Bobby go.
Okay, I believe it was on Collision that it happened. When the Acclaim was coming down the ring and Matt Cassidy was doing his rap and Buddy Murphy kneed the shit out of him.
Yeah, he did.
While he was in the middle of his rap. I laughed my ass off. That was funny. I mean that was so perfect. I mean, he that knee slap was perfect. The way that thigh slap was perfect because it sounded like that shit was real. I mean, I've been waiting for somebody to do something to interrupt that damn rap.
Well, considering the shit Caster said about Rhea Ripley, it might have been real.
Yeah, I mean, it was. That
was the best part.
I mean, I totally marked out for that. I mean, let's say I popped. I mean that I watched that shit about 3-4 times. Back and forth because he needs to. I mean, I don't think that was a sale. I mean, I think that was real. I think that was straight up. Like, shut the fuck up. I mean, I loved it. That might be.
Wait, I like that moment too, but the only thing I did. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
You back?
Yeah.
Now you back.
So I like that moment too. The only thing I was disappointed with, I didn't know if he had more shit to say.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right with that one.
Shut his ass up.
Saturday night's all right for knee lifts. Yeah. Bobby, what's your moment?
Moment of the week?
Yeah.
You're going to be shocked about this. I mean, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
Oh, I'm about to throw up. Jesus.
I agree. I was happy too.
I knew it was Marcus going to sound like he needs some Pepto-Bismol, but I'm sorry. You know,
I got your back, Marcus.
You co-sign for everything. I'm going to go get a car. You want to co-sign for me? But no, seriously, that was. I actually think that they're going to do something with these guys. I think they or ladies. Chelsea Green is a beast. Chelsea Green is just when we saw her at All Out, and that's the Chelsea Green I'm hoping for. Is the one that we saw at All Out. If we see that Chelsea Green, it's going to be something special. If we see the watered down WWE, the Wild World of Water Entertainment, and Chelsea Green, then I'm not too sure. But I'm praying to God we get the concentrated version, and if we do, it's going to be special.
Huh.
One thing I'm looking forward to though is when they still had a tag team champions after August 5th, and on my birthday. And I'm going to have my Acknowledge Your Daddy shirt on that day, Marcus, because you're going to acknowledge your daddy when you sing it.
Like I said,
Scissor me, daddy.
You messed up. To this guy, Marcus, to
I said the
him,
wrong show. I said the wrong
and it's
show.
going to last 3 weeks. He's going to remind you for 3 weeks afterwards that you lost to him.
And $20.
When I lost to him at WrestleMania, for 2 months, he was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What? That was 2 months ago, Tony."
I still bring that
Hell
shit up.
has come to SummerSlam. It is
When y'all said SummerSlam's 2 weeks from now, I'm like, "Damn, Marcus."
I know. I said.
Who they gonna lose to in 2 weeks, Marcus?
I said the wrong.
They don't even have an opponent yet.
Wait, Chris, you know
He's got a story. They
You
don't
know
even have
the
a storyline yet.
SummerSlam. The second that came out his lips, I was on it.
Considering how they've hot potatoed this title, Marcus has a chance.
Yeah,
that's the sad part.
He should have said, I bet they lose it by Monday Night Raw.
Marcus, I got your back. You've got a chance at this.
Yeah,
they
it's
may
Cleo,
change
but
the
yeah.
titles.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up.
All right.
All right.
So, hey, go ahead, Rob. Wrap it up.
Oh, okay. You want me to do it this Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the mastermind Bobby Rogers, who was stuck at work today, Tony Motown Allen, who is all elite baby, marvelous Marcus Buckley, the silent but deadly entrepreneur, and the good goddamn handsome man that is the amazing gadget man Chris Woods.
AKA the co-signer.
That's true. And on behalf of myself, your not so humble correspondent, Robert Black, this has been your FTW Future Focus for this week. Follow us on YouTube. Look us up on our network, on Twitter, on Instagram, on everything that carries airwaves. Look us up, sign us up, subscribe, do all of those fun things. And we will see you in the future, and we'll let James Brown take you out.
Hit it.
Bobby, do you have some James Brown for us?
Well, I got kicked out for a second, but
I get kicked out on one show. WWE, they added again.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Impact kicked them out this time.
Well,
we're in the low. There's levels to this. There's levels to this, Tony.
There's conspiracy levels to this.
I'm telling you, man, what's going on, man? But all right, thanks everybody. Holla at you.
Hit it.
Oh, how you feel, brother? Feeling good. You feel good? Feeling good. It's groovy. Play so much bone, brother. How you feel, man? I feel all right. I call your name. I don't want no people to know you're in here. How you feel, brother? Hey, Jam. Sure getting down. Look at him. Ha. We're gonna have a fun good time. 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 Let's take 'em up, Fred. We gotta take you high. All right. You wanna do it again? You wanna do it again? Huh? We gotta take you high.
shuttle that leaves here at 4:30.
Bobby, can you hear us still?
Of course. And
Yeah.
how many passengers?
I gotta admit, I'm proud of you.